Hey there everyone, today's episode is on the building rulebook. I'm going to teach you guys how to better optimize the building process of your account. Now there's a lot of things that I need to teach in this video and I've written it down all on my phone. But I may forget here and there as to what to do, so don't mind if I keep referring back to my phone so that I don't miss out any things that you guys need to know. Alright, let's go into one of my first operators here, which is Jackie herself. Now, I need to first teach you guys how to read the levels of operators. So, in order to read the level of an operator, you look at the promotion bar and then the level bar on top. So this currently has no crest at the moment. So this is a Elite 0, level 1 Jackie. If let's say you go to the next operator here, because this is a colored crest, this means that Cruise over here is Elite 1, level 55. And if I go to the next operator, I have a Phantom over here. The maximum promotion level of an operator in the game right now is Elite 2. It probably won't go any higher than this. And how do you tell if an operator is Elite 2? You see that they have double crest, and then afterwards this is read as a E2 level 70 Phantom. Alright, so that's some basics out of the way. Now, let's teach you guys how to level up an operator. If you click over here, you'll be brought into this leveling up menu screen. Now, you can kind of like singly click on your EXP tickets, and then you can see the level increase. The purpose of leveling up your operators is that you can see that they get increased stats. So now, they have more HP, more attack, and more defense. I will probably go through a little bit more into the stats in a future video, but for now, as you play the game on, you'll realize that you kind of want this nice little stat boost so that you can handle some of the tougher enemies in the game. Now, instead of singly clicking all your EXP tickets like that, it could be quite a hassle. So if you're on PC, you can use your mouse and you hold down on the EXP ticket. And if you're on the phone, you can also use your finger, just hold it down there, and then you can spam it all the way until 40. The limit for EXP tickets is that you can top up at most 40 at once. Then afterwards, when you charge it into the operator, then you can do the same thing over again and give it another 40. So I am going to level up Jackie all the way to Elite 1 maximum. So let me use like say the blue color ticket. I'll hold it all the way down. So this is 40 tickets being used. Now, you don't just use EXP tickets when you level up your operator. You also use LMD, which is the money currency of the game. If you look over here, you can see that the LMD cost is currently at 13,000. So you'll spend both EXP tickets and LMD to level up your operators. So let me just stop this into Jackie right now. And then let me bring it all the way up to level 45, just like that. Now, be very careful when you top up your operators. Some of you might use your best EXP tickets. But when you hit the maximum level of an operator, which you can tell that is maximum based on this indicator here, now, make sure to just remove one ticket, because when you do that, you'll realize that the EXP amount has like this little bit left. Now, the green ticket tops up 200 EXP, the blue one tops up 400, the yellow one would be 1000, and I believe this one is 2000. So make sure to only give it all the way until like the sufficient amount. Don't overdo it, if not you're going to waste your EXP. So anyways, I'm going to give 4 yellow tickets and then give 1 green one as well. And this way, my Jackie is at the maximum level of 45. Right, let's return back to the main screen over here. Now, apart from levels, you also need to take care of the skills of your operators. It's going to be incredibly cursed if you play the entire game without ever upping the skill rank of your operators. Now, if you click over here, you'll see that the skill rank of Jackie right now is skill rank 3. To raise it up, I can click on this double arrow, and then afterwards you can feed it the materials that it needs in order to bring the skill rank to a higher level. To see the materials that you need, you just have to look at the bottom left here. It'll indicate the skill summary that you require, and then afterwards also the materials as well. So, the important thing to take note here is that there are what we call breakpoints in the game. So breakpoints are when an operator's skill will become tremendously improved compared to the other skill ranks that you may level it up to. So the two significant breakpoints will be skill rank 4 and skill rank 7. It is best that if you have an operator that you use often, please pull them up to those two levels that I've mentioned. Now I'm going to raise Jackie up all the way to skill rank 4, and you're going to see that I can't actually raise her up anymore. It states here that I must reach Elite 1 in order to actually pull it up to skill rank 5. So we're going to do just that. This means that it's time to promote Jackie. This also means to say that the skill level that you can reach at Elite 0 is going to be skill rank 4. And then afterwards at Elite 1, it'll be skill rank 7. So let's exit this screen. And before promoting, let's talk about level limits. So at Elite 0, you'll notice that for the 4 stars, the level limit is at 45. For the 3 stars, I believe the level limit is also 45. It's either that or it's 40. For 2 stars, it's 30. 2 stars and 1 stars cannot be promoted beyond Elite 0. So actually, if you're just a starting player in the game, it might be a wise idea to just build your 2 stars because they can still help you out very much at the early front of the game. And then you can see for the robots, they are currently at level 30. And yeah, there you go, a 4 star at level 45. Then afterwards you have the 5 stars. So the 5 stars can reach up to level 50 at Elite 0. And then for 6 stars, it's also at level 50. Alright, that's that for the level limits. Let's go back to Jackie. And then let's give her a promotion. So over here, once again, at the bottom left, you can see all the materials that you require. Usually, for all promotions, you're gonna need some LMD, a certain amount of chips, and specific materials as well. Now you can see what you'll get by promoting an operator. If you see over here, it tells you what is actually increased. Now when you Elite 1 a 4 star and above, you'll see that they'll learn a new skill. So this is a second skill that they can use in the battlefield, and they'll also gain a talent. Both the skills and the talents are what makes operators very unique in the game, and a lot of operators tend to not share the same kind of ability. So if you have operators you really like in the game, it'll be pretty viable for you to actually unlock better skills for them. So in any case, let's give Jackie a promotion right now, and whenever this happens, you'll be celebrated with like a promotion screen with a special voice line as well. Alright, okay, so let's be out of here. And now, I'm not sure if you guys taken notice of something over here, but if you observe the HP, the attack, and the defense, I'm going to show you guys 2 screens side by side. You're going to see that at Elite 1 level 1 and at Elite 0 maximum, the amount of stats is still the exact same. If you don't believe me, you can test it out yourself. This means to say that if you promote an operator, never just leave them over there. You should give them levels straight away, because otherwise, there's no point that you spend so much resources just to give them a promotion, and yet you only have them at the same stats as before. And it's not going to be too expensive to level them up as well. If you look over here, if I feed it, say, just 40 yellow tickets, it's going to be pretty quick to get an operator to level 40, and then afterwards you can see, this is 60 increase in attack, quite a bit in defense, and also a nice increase in HP. So it is best that you quickly build up your operators as soon as you promote them. So I'll feed this 40 into Jackie, and then afterwards let's even it out as well by giving her all the way until level 40. Alright, then now let me return back to the menu. Now some of you may then be asking, what level should you leave your operator at once you Elite 1 them? You're gonna see that it's very easy to level operators up from Elite 0 level 1 to Elite 0 maximum. But then in the case of Elite 1, you're gonna see that it gets a little tougher. Now remember just now, when we feed 40 yellow tickets, it almost raised the level up to level 40 for Jackie. But now, let's do the same thing again. I'll feed 40 yellow tickets, and this time around, you can see that it gets a little tougher. Instead of 40 level increase, now this same 40 yellow ticket has only increased her level by 10. So you can see that the leveling up slope has kind of like steepened up. And this goes to say that usually a comfortable level to place your operators at when you put them at Elite 1 is going to be Elite 1 level 40. Then at what point in the game should you start to pull everyone up even further than level 40? I leave that to you. As soon as you see that there are operators that you really like and you want to use them very often, then that's when you want to give them extra levels. Because you need to understand that AK is a resource management game. This same 40 tickets that I'm about to give to Jackie, for example, could be used to give to another Elite 1 level 1 operator and raise them up to level 40 instead, to give them a much bigger boost in the attack. Whereas now, if we compare it to just now, where we got almost more than 60 increase in attack, this time around, this same 40 yellow tickets has only raised the attack by 20. So this is a consideration to make. I would say that the most comfortable level to leave your operators at is going to be 40 to about 50 when they're at Elite 1. And then beyond that, you need to start to prioritize who you want the most, alright? Instead of focusing on the levels of your operators, it is actually much more vital that you focus on the skills of your operators. So, if you look at Jackie once again, currently it says that it increases the attack of the next attack to 180%. Now, if I raise up the skill rank to skill rank 5, it's going to be 190%. So there's a 10% increase in the attack whenever a skill is activated. So how do we tell if the skills are truly more impressive than the levels, right? If you remember, just now when we were in the leveling screen, we're giving her 20 extra attack for those 40 tickets. But in this case, with a 10% increase in her attack when her skill is up, now if I key in onto my calculator, it's going to be an increase of 50 attack. I'm not sure if my camera is showing. Yeah, I think my camera is showing. Look at that. So 10% increase of her current attack at level 40, 473, you're giving her 50 additional attack, which is much more significant than the levels that you're going to give her. This is something that's very important for you to note in the game. Skills are more important than levels. There are many times where I see people building up operators to the maximum level, but the skill rank is only at 5 or 6. And then they go around telling other people, why does my operator not work, or why is it so bad? That is simply because they're not prioritizing on the correct thing, which should be the skills. So now that you understand that, let me raise up Jackie's skill rank all the way to 5. Let's pull it up to 6. And now, if you take notice, remember I said that there's a breakpoint in the game, which is skill rank 7. Why is skill rank 7 a breakpoint for Jackie? Let's look at skill rank 6. It takes 4 skill points in order to trigger her skill. Skill points will reload at 1 per second whenever you play a level. But then, now, if I bring it up to skill rank 7, you're gonna see that apart from the attack increase, there's also a drop in the required amount of skill points, which went from 4 to 3. So there are some other ways that other operators will improve tremendously as well whenever they're at skill rank 7. Some of them might have huge attack boosts. Some of them may have skill durations that last even longer. In the case of Jackie, look over here. Skill rank 6 on her skill 2, it is 10 seconds long. But if I put it at skill rank 7, it has increased to 15 seconds long. So a longer skill duration can be good because that is usually when your operators are the most powerful. So now that you see this in play, you can then understand that it's important to always raise your skill levels up. So let's feed that to Jackie, and then we'll exit this little menu. Now you're never always going to put all your operators at Elite 1 level 40. Eventually you want them to be even stronger as well. After you hit skill rank 7, then the next way that you can improve your operators is via the levels. By doing that, your skills can even have larger amount of damage thanks to the stat increase. Now the level limit for various rarities is going to be different. In the case of 3 stars, 3 stars will have a level limit of level 55, and they cannot be promoted to Elite 2. This is the maximum cap for them. But for 4 stars, they can be promoted to Elite 2. Before that, the highest level for Elite 1 is going to be level 60. You can see if someone has maxed out based on this yellow circle. If it's a full circle, that means they've hit the maximum level, or if you click on them, you look at the slash and you can see that it's out of 60. That's for 4 stars. If we go to the 5 stars, it's going to be level 70, and if we go to the 6 stars, it's going to be level 80. Alright, so it gets even higher as it goes, and you can imagine for the 6 stars, it's going to be quite a pain to build them up to Elite 1 level 80, because the resources that you need are really high. If we look, for example, say a operator that I have at level 50 right now, if I were to raise them up all the way to 60, you can see how 40 yellow tickets can't even help me to reach there, and I'm spending a huge amount of LMD as well. And then in comparison, if I look at the 6 stars, if I want to pull them all the way up to 70, you can see it gets pretty rough. Now I only increased by 5 levels for 40 yellow tickets. So that is going to be quite a pain. This is also the reason why a lot of people will say that 4 stars are easier to build in the game. Because 4 stars use less resources, you can easily hit them all the way to their maximum level, and then afterwards, if you want to, you can promote them into the next stage as well. I'll explain the importance of an Elite 2 promotion in a bit, but let's look at the materials that you require when doing so. If we look over here, this time we'll need way more LMD compared to the Elite 1 promotion. There's going to be a better chip that you'll require, and then you'll need some higher tier materials as well. Now, if you look at the tier of the materials, for 4 stars, it's pretty low. These are what we call tier 3 materials. Tier 3 materials are surrounded by the blue color border. And then this itself is like the second tier of chips. There is a third tier of chips. We're gonna see that in a bit. So let's go to a 5 star that I have, for instance, like Cliffcart over here. Let's give her a promotion. And you can see, this is a much higher tier of a chip. This having a golden border. There's a lot more LMD that you need to spend. And then now, instead of 2 tier 3 materials, there's a tier 4 being introduced. So the requirement goes up even further. And then afterwards, if you want to raise a 6 star, for example, this time around, Look at that. The materials that you need are even more raised. There's 60,000 more LMD compared to the 5-star, or if not, 120,000 more LMD than the 4-star Elite 2. And then you can see you need more of this chip. Now you need a tier 5 material because of the golden color, and a tier 4 material as well. So I'll explain to you in a little bit as to why people recommend a new player to have a 4-star Elite 2 as soon as possible in their account first in just a little bit. But for now, I want to promote my 6-star over here, which is Gladia. So let's look at her animation screen. Oh, before that, I want to show you guys the details. If you click over here, you're going to see that for Gladia herself, she's also learning yet another new skill at Elite 2. And then she's obtaining a new talent, and her previous talent is getting improved. This is going to be different for the lower rarities. If you see the 5-star, I go back to another 5-star that I have, for instance, and then I try to promote them. There is no third skill that is being introduced, but the only thing that happens is that the talent has been improved. And then if we look at a 4-star, for instance, same thing. There's no third skill, and the talent is only improved. So the idea of unlocking a third skill only occurs for a 6-star rarity. For the other rarities below, they only have a skill 1 and a skill 2. 6 stars are just granted a third ability to introduce more ways that you can play with their operator. But even for the lower rarities, the ability to improve their talent and to give them more stats in the end is also going to be very helpful. Anyways, now I shall return all the way back to my Gladia over here, and then let's give her a simple promotion. There you go. Now, whenever you promote your operator to Elite 2, they will always receive a special artwork. As you see over there, this is different from Elite 0 and Elite 1. And sometimes, there are some Elite 2 arts that a lot of people will love in the game. So this will make you feel like you have achieved something by better building your operator. Now, we've mentioned about comfortable levels for Elite 1. And then for Elite 2, what is a comfortable level to leave your operators at? Again, never leave your operators at level 1. The stats, their HP, their attack and defense and everything is going to stay the same. So you're hurting your operators more. Imagine you spend 180,000 LMD on a 6-star only to leave them at level 1 when you can spend, say, another 40 yellow tickets, 20,000 LMD, way less than the promotion, just to give them this additional increase in the case of Gladia of 45 attack, giving her some extra defense and some extra HP. So please do not diminish the potential of your operators. Make sure to build them up right after you promote them. But anyways, what is the comfortable level? I would say that for Elite 2, please, as an early player, do not go beyond level 30. As you see over here, with 40 tickets, I can raise it up all the way to 26. Or if you round it off, it's like 25. So let me feed that to Gladia, and I try to even it out. I'm going to feed her a bit more, and then you can see that it takes me about another 10 tickets to raise it all the way up to level 30. So that was costing me, I think, 32,000-ish LMD and about 50 yellow tickets. Now, look at this level right now, E2 level 30, and I want to feed it another 40 tickets. Do you realize that the climb is pretty darn hard now? That these 40 yellow tickets is only giving me 10 more levels, or even just 9. And the LMD is still costing the same amount as before. If you try to pull it up even further than level 30, you're going to see that the resources that you need becomes even more of a bigger challenge. If we go to some of the higher level operators I have, if I want to raise it up from 50 to 60, look at that nightmare, it's only 5 levels. If I go to another even higher operator at 70, and I want to raise it up. Now, with 40 yellow tickets, I've only raised the level up to 2. If you remember at the start of the video, we were building some Elite 1 operators at Elite 1 level 1 all the way to Elite 1 level 40 with this amount. And yet this time around, if you have a level 70 operator and you try to raise them up, you realize you're spending so much LMD, EXP, just to give them 3 additional attack, which isn't going to be very significant in the battlefield. This goes to say that it is best that you even out the level of your operators. When I see new players try to raise a 6-star all the way to level 90, I cry inside of me because that amount can be used to Elite 1 20 other operators, maybe even 30 other operators. It's quite a race of resource when you put someone up so high and then afterwards you say, why can't I clear the game? Because you couldn't even afford the resources for everybody else. So don't be too greedy if, let's say, you're starting out afresh. Try to put your operators at a lower level first. Level 30 is a level that I can recommend for Elite 2. Later on in the game, when you've built a very stable squad, that's when you can say, I love this operator a lot, I've seen that they're very strong, and now I want to give them extra attack. That's when you start to raise them from 30 to 40, from 40 to 50. Take it slow and steady. Never dump all your resources on one single operator, expecting them to perform throughout the game. Because in this game, if you see the way that I built my account, you can see that I built practically like all kinds of operators. And time to time, I flip around and have fun playing different operators within my squad. So it's better that you build a plethora, a full variety, so that you can also better learn how to play this game well. Now I'm going to return all the way back to my Gladia right now, and I just want to explain a short concept over here, which is Masteries. So as much as skill rank 7 is the maximum that you can go for an operator, oh wait, I just remember a very important rule. If you are building your account, don't you dare ever show me an operator that you E2 and you don't give them skill rank 7. It's a complete pain. I've got a story that I once saw before, where there was a guy who built like a level 70 or 80 Ea Fiela, and he went around telling everyone else, why is my Ea Fiela so weak? My Ea Fiela is like extremely built at level 70, and yet she doesn't do anything. When people asked him what's wrong and he sent a picture, the skill rank for Ea Fiela was, I believe, your skill rank 3. And that's a complete pain. You give all the stats to Ea, but the skills can't do anything because he wasn't even raising up any of this attack amount. So never leave your operators below skill rank 7 before you Elite 2 them. Again, skills are more important than levels. And that brings me to the point of Masteries. Now, once you Elite 2 an operator, you have the chance to raise their levels up even further from M1, M2 to M3. That is Mastery for short. So once you unlock the workshop within your base, you can send an operator into here, and then afterwards you can build them up. But you're going to see that it needs a lot of materials as well. Now in this video, because I want to prioritize more on new player stuff, this episode will not cover about Masteries. We'll have an episode on Masteries in the future. So that's that for you guys to know. Apart from that, there's also a lot of things that I won't cover in this video. Potentials are also not a must. In this game, we're not like some of the other gacha games that you play, where maybe constellations are important, maybe having extra copies of operators are going to make your game even more easier. It doesn't work over here. Potentials are like a quality of life. It's a nice feeling to see a little boost in your operators. Now, for 5-star rarities and 6-star rarities, there's no need for you to chase for an additional copy of an operator. If you do get an additional copy, that's nice. You've made the operator a little bit stronger than before. But if you're thinking whether you need to, nope, you do not need to. If there's a rarity that I'll say you must chase for potentials, it would be the 4 stars. 4 stars and 3 stars are very easy to get max potential real fast in the game. Within your first 6 months to 1 year of the game, you're going to realize that all your 4 stars will cap out and max out in their potentials really quickly. And by doing so, you'll be helping to charge up certificates in the store. I won't talk about certificates now, that's for a future episode. But at the same time, I also won't further emphasize on potentials. All you guys need to know is that 1 copy of an operator is enough. Another thing that I wouldn't talk too much in this video is module. Modules are something that new players do not need to care about. I would say that as soon as you hit about player account level 80 or 90, that's about 6 months to 8 months playing the game, that's when you need to care about modules. It is when you'll see the significance of a module data block, and then after trust coming into play as well. So for both modules and trust, it's something that you don't really need to care about too much at the start of the game yet. I won't emphasize this in this episode. All these little components, masteries, potentials, modules, and trust, I'll be covering them in separate episodes coming later on after this. Maybe not directly after episode 2, but you'll see them going in line. Now to close off this episode, I want to talk about the importance of having an E2 early in your account. If let's say you go to a stage that you want to play right now, like for instance, I go to chapter 9, I go on 9-6. And let's put for example, I'm a new player, I haven't got any Elite 2 yet. So I'm going to sort my operators by level. Let me take a bunch of say weaker operators that I have built. Now, if you are trying to follow videos or guides, or let's say you just want to borrow a really strong operator into your squad, you're gonna see that you'll be limited by the support unit system. You're not allowed to borrow any Elite 2 operator if you have no Elite 2 operator yourself in your squad. This is why I highly recommend a lot of people to either build up their Myrtle as soon as they got her, because Myrtle is going to be very helpful throughout the game. If let's say you don't want to build Myrtle, you can look within the 4-star rarity. You've seen the promotion requirements for the 4 stars, and you see how cheap it is to build them to level 60, and then afterwards be able to E2 them. So if you see any 4 stars that you really like in the game, hurry to build them to E2 and always bring them in your squad. That way, when you're clearing stages, you can now go into your support unit and you're going to see E2s being borrowable for your account. And that is when you really start to enjoy the game, being able to use strong units for the sake of clearing all your levels. So now that you guys know this very good and important tip, this way I can see you guys propelling forward throughout the game. In any case, this video has covered a lot of tips that you guys need to know when it comes to building your operators. I'm going to leave a summary screen right at the end covering all the rules that I want you guys to follow as I teach in this episode. Now, the original intention of this video is to merge with the previous episode and to teach you guys the account progression that you are supposed to experience. Since I don't want you guys to be held back, we'll talk about it in the next episode, which is on account progression. After that episode is done, episode 4 is going to be about re-rolling accounts, and episode 5 will be about gacha rate and PT system. All big things that you guys want to know. Arkpedia is going to be uploaded every week on a Friday. So I hope that you guys are looking forward to the next episode. Alright, that's that for this video. I think you can click on the playlist if you want to watch the next episode straight away. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye all!